सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः। Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Amrita. Before we continue with today's video, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. In our last episode, we saw how Krishna was born and how he killed the demons. On hearing the news of the death of Putna and Shakatasura, Kamsa was furious. He knew that something was there in Gokul that threatened his life. So he kept sending a lot of demons to kill the child that had caused the death of Putna. One day, Yashoda was feeding Krishna. Suddenly, she started feeling that the baby was too heavy to carry. Krishna intentionally felt heavier so that Yashoda would put him down. So Yashoda put the child down and went to the kitchen to do some household work. There was a demon called Trinavarta that was sent by Kamsa that came along and started taking the child and created a storm over the entire village. So now he had taken the child, he had carried the child and started flying upwards. As he was flying away from the earth, this child's weight started increasing. At one point of time, Krishna became so heavy that the demon felt that he was carrying a huge mountain. Not able to bear the weight of the child, he collapsed, and that is how another demon was killed. Balaram was Krishna's elder brother. So Krishna and Balaram always used to play together along with the other friends in the neighborhood, along with the other kids in the neighborhood. One day, when Krishna and Balaram were playing along with his friends, Krishna started eating mud. So Balaram went to his mother Yashoda and complained as to how Krishna was eating mud and how it was unhygienic. Yashoda immediately rushed to the place where they were playing and started asking Krishna if he had really eaten mud. Krishna denied. He lied to his mother, telling, "No mom, I did not eat it." So Yashoda asked Krishna to open his mouth. Now we all know who Krishna is, right? He's the ultimate supreme power. He is the ultimate godhood. He's the Lord of the universe. He's the Paramatma. So as soon as he opened his mouth, the things that Yashoda saw inside that little mouth, she was just awestruck, she was stunned. He is the creator of the world. Bhagavatam clearly explains as to how Lord Vishnu created Brahma from a lotus that came from his navel, and how Brahma created the entire world. Now Krishna is a reincarnation of Lord Vishnu. So the ultimate supreme power himself. What Yashoda saw was the entire universe, all the planets, the sun, the moon, the stars, the galaxy. It was all shining. It seemed as though the entire creation, right from this earth to the other 13 lokas that existed inside that little mouth of her tiny tot. She was spellbound. This is where the Lord actually blessed Yashoda so that she could have a glance as to how the entire universe is, and that how that little child is none other than the Supreme Lord himself. She was actually she had come there to scold Krishna for eating mud, right? Now she was awestruck. She was astounded by the beautiful creation that she saw inside her little tot's mouth. She became blank. She had forgotten why she came there. Just for that second she saw, and that memory Krishna did immediately erase it, even though he did give her the blessing of showing it to her. And then immediately she forgot it, And she forgot all about the mud thing and she went back to the kitchen as if nothing had happened and started working again. If you consider Ramayana, Rama is a very, very righteous man. He is a person who follows the path of Dharma, who did not know that he was the Lord himself and just lived as a common person without any superpowers. But here, our Lord, our Krishna is not like that. He knew that he was the supreme Godhead. He knew all the tricks that he had to play, all the naughty things that he had to play on the normal human beings, use his supreme power and stun them at times. One other such very, very noticeable event was one day Krishna was playing along with his friends. There was a fruit vendor. She was a very, very old woman and she happened to sell fruits and she came across Krishna's house where he was playing. Krishna went to her and asked her for fruits. She was a person who was selling it. So she told that if you give me money, I will give fruits in exchange. But Krishna replied telling, I do not have any money. Seeing the innocent child asking for fruits, in spite of the fact that she was poor, she decided to give mango to the child so that it can enjoy the fruit. Looking at the generosity, looking at the kind-heartedness of the woman, the Lord definitely knew who she was, right? So the Lord actually blessed her. She didn't know. She just thought she's just giving a fruit to a child, and then when she gave the fruit and then she went away from there. But later on, when she opened her basket of fruits, she saw that the fruits inside were actually not fruits anymore. They were pieces of gold that the Lord had blessed for her generosity. It was just magic to her. She did not ever understand how it happened. But the Lord knows how everything happens. I guess He's the only person who knows why everything happens, how everything happens, and when and where exactly the right thing happens. Krishna was a very big foodie in our terms. He was a child who loved butter, ghee, and milk. So whenever he did not get enough from Yashoda, he used to go across to the other houses of gopis and steal them from their houses. Every time the gopis came to Yashoda and complained about how Krishna was coming, breaking into their house and stealing their stuff. Of course, when Krishna used to steal, they used to feel bad that the product is going away. But one day the Lord decided to show his importance. So he did not go. He did not go into break into any house and take any food from anywhere. The gopis were upset. The ladies of the house were so upset. They did not even know why they were upset. So it practically implies that where the Lord goes, He takes a lot of happiness, spreads a lot of positivity. He's the personification of positivity, right? So He does spread a lot of positivity. And even a single day that the Lord did not come to their house and steal butter or ghee, they would not feel fulfilled in their life. Even if they did not like it, even if they thought that the products were going away, even when they went and complained it to Ma Yashoda, somewhere deep inside they loved the fact that every day Krishna did come to their home and steal the food from there. Such was the magical charm and attraction that the Lord had. Every single person in the village loved Krishna and looked upon him as their own child. Not able to bear the naughtiness of Krishna, one day Yashoda decided to teach him a lesson, to punish him for being so naughty, and she decided to tie him with rope. She took a rope and started tying Krishna's hands. How could a Jivatma ever think of controlling or binding upon Paramatma? She didn't know that. Yashoda was unaware of the fact that her son was the Paramatma though. So she started tying Krishna's hands with ropes. It was not possible. How much ever rope she bought in, and she tied each and every rope to another to make it big and still tight. There was always 2 inches small left and she could not tie the rope. She could not tie and bind Krishna. But the Lord felt compassionate, felt empathetic towards his mother. So he decided to let her tie him. So Krishna let her tie him to a wooden motor. So she tied Krishna and went into the kitchen to fulfill her duties. Now Krishna was actually angry that his mother had tied him like that. So he decided to be even more naughtier and started moving himself along with the motor and he was actually carrying the motor along with him. He was dragging it back. In their garden, there were two huge trees. So Krishna decided to go in between the two trees. When he went, the motor got stuck and there was no place for the motor to pass across freely. But the Lord once decided is never going to take a step back. So he went further, dragging the motor, which in turn resulted in the motor creating a crack between the two trees, and the two trees fell down. Actually, the two trees were Arjuna trees. There were two devas called Nalakuvara and Manigriva who were cursed by sage Narada to take form as trees, and that the Lord would come and deliver them back to the eternal world. So now the trees are gone, the trees are down, and both the devas are free from their curse and they go back to their abode. But hearing the huge sound of the trees falling, Yashoda rushed to see what had happened, and she felt very bad and she was scared that her child would be hurt, and she started caressing and pampering her child. Nanda Gopal felt that Gokul was no longer safe for Krishna, so they decided to move to Vrindavan. And we will see in our next video as to how that happens. If you like this video, then press that thumbs up button, comment below, and do subscribe to my channel. I will see you again next time. Until then, be good, do good always. Thank you. Bye.